Let me just say,
morning, hey.
And if you're listening or watching this video later in the day,
I me say evening.
it is always a good day to see the PlayStation community hope, and grope for their platform going full third party. I remember we were trying to warn them that this new president is going to bring, their AAA content day and date. And as the window starts to close in, as the PlayStation community starts to feel the squeeze, it is coming to a realization that some of them is even contemplating on going full Nintendo.
I can see if PlayStation goes day and day with PC and then all that shit gets nonsense, I think that might put Nintendo back into the console hardware business, because now they can say, hey, we got a powerful hardware console with the best specs and all this stuff and real true exclusives you cannot get anywhere else. And that will be an attractive product, right? If Nintendo comes back to actual home console gaming with actual up-to-date latest tech and hardware, and they tell you we actually have exclusives, right? You can't get this on PC, you can't get this on PlayStation, you can't get this on Xbox. There is no harmony. We got true exclusives built to this hardware that could bring back the old Nintendo of the 80s and 90s, where everybody wants to play on Nintendo. I can see that happening if PlayStation gives up the whole exclusive and just goes days and day on PC. Nintendo can easily be like, yep, we're back in the boys, because then at that point, what does PlayStation have to offer? They don't offer exclusives. Nintendo would offer true exclusives. So the future could be back how we started. And when I mean by started, after the crash of video games, with Nintendo dominating, we could come back to that world. And guess what? If Nintendo does come back to the classic console, the stuff I grew up on, the Super NES, the NES, the N64, if they come back to that and they have true exclusives that just blows out the stuff, of course I will come back to Nintendo too. Nintendo PC. It's amazing.
PlayStation.
So yes, these PlayStation dudes are going through a midlife crisis. They don't know what to do. They are seeing that Sony is taking a full push for PC, and they really don't know what to do with themselves. That guy was a PlayStation general, and look, he is talking about sticking only to PC and Nintendo. Wouldn't you guys believe it? Ooh, it tastes so sweet. But you know what? Let's not get besides ourselves, because today we are going to talk about what every PlayStation channel is talking about. How Xbox games run better on the PlayStation 5. Now, when they say run better, none of them is going into detail or saying what exactly runs better, because when they say it, they sound silly. We're going to talk about that. And we are going to talk about how Xbox games, the games that no one wants, is dominating the PlayStation sales charts. How is this even possible? Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all that and more in today's video. So you know what? Let's get it.
This is a sickness.
Let's get it. Before we start the video, again, let me say thanks to those who came to the podcast this past Sunday. We had some fun. We spoke a lot about Xbox and PlayStation. Let me just remind you that don't forget to like the content and of course subscribe if you are new. If it is you like podcasts, I have a podcast every Sunday between 7 and 7:30 p.m. So we have a lot to talk about today. So let's get right into the video. Let's talk about the new hotness in these gaming streets, which is Helldivers. Helldivers was recently released both for PC and for PlayStation 5. And for the most part, Helldivers was a huge success still holding its player count even after 2 to 3 months since it has been released. And you know, a number of PlayStation fans have been boasting about Helldivers 2, that the Xbox players are not going to play Helldivers 2. They alone have it. It's exclusive. We all know it's not, because the studio making it, Arrowhead, does not belong to Sony. However, it is surprising to see what rumors are going around now. Listen.
What I've heard, it's just a rumor that I've heard, is that there may be some very, very early preliminary discussions about the possibility of Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox.
It's interesting. It's interesting, isn't it?
Would you look at that rumor, you see, how would the PlayStation community, take this rumor? Because for the most part, let's face it, the PlayStation did not have something that set the world on fire. I mean, even Xbox had something exclusive to their platform this year, which was Palworld. Palworld had set the world on fire for the best part of a month or two. It since has fallen off, but yes, at least Xbox had something this year that really had the industry talking. For the PlayStation side, Final Fantasy Rebirth didn't do it. The Rise of Ronin didn't do it. And of course, certainly Foam Stars didn't do it. So the only thing that the PlayStation community has for this year that they can say really it made a statement was Helldivers 2. So to hear this rumor that it is going to come to the Xbox platform is if some of the Sony fans are not taking it well. Look at this. So Insider Gaming tweeted, Sony in early talks to release Helldivers 2 on Xbox. It's claimed. And then someone replied, a PlayStation fan no doubt, PSN, he said, if Sony actually does that, I'm just going to move from PlayStation to PC. Look at this hurt. You could feel the hurt in that response tweet there from PSN. So the PlayStation fans are not taking it well just hearing this rumor. Now, we even have PlayStation guys talking about, there should be gatekeeping in the industry. Listen.
But I just think that there's this intense desire from both Sony and Microsoft to be everywhere, not to be everywhere, but to expose their IP to larger audiences in the hopes that they can grow those audiences. And I mean, it's hard to argue against this because it's like, well, I mean, I understand that's I get it, everybody wants to continue to grow and to find more success based off of sheer volume of the amount of people that are buying stuff. But I'm wary of this, man, because I just feel like certain things are going to lose their charm, certain things are going to lose their edge, and I don't know. I guess I just feel like to an extent gatekeeping does have a place. I don't think it has to be extreme gatekeeping, but it's just I think in a way people are willing to gatekeep certain things. It is out of fear. And it's out of fear that if we just let anyone in, it's going to devalue a lot of this.
What? Why? You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
It's going to alter a lot of this. And again, that has happened time and time again. Does it always have to be a bad thing? Not necessarily. No, but I think it's just a risky thing where, let me put it to you this way. When there's no more gatekeeping, things change.
Oh, it's the clown again. Oh, why is it always the clown? I mean, I knew it was gonna be the clown. We all knew it was gonna be the clown sooner or...
What is MBG even talking about? What changed MBG? When MLB The Show came to other platforms, did things change for MLB. And a matter of fact, things did change. Things got better for them. They sold more copies. They got more engagement in their particular game. So what you are saying here, MBG, makes no sense. This is what the PlayStation community is doing at this point when they heard this rumor. Now, of course, they are coping, and of course, they don't know what to do with themselves. It's so funny how things can turn right back around. For 1 month, they are laughing that 4 games are coming to the Xbox platform, and there is just a possibility that Helldivers 2 could come on other platforms, and they are going crazy. Persons are threatening to leave PlayStation altogether, and here we have a gamer is talking about gatekeeping. This is nuts. But let me hear what you think about everything about what was said about Helldivers 2 coming to the Xbox platform. Would you buy it? Would you support it? Would you play it? Let me know in the comment sections below. Next up, let's talk about what is on the mouth of every PlayStation YouTuber right now. They are saying that Xbox games are running better on the PlayStation platform. So let's look at this comparison that Digital Foundry did, and this is what everybody's talking about right now. Let's listen to it.
Interesting place to start here is with a look at the brand new PS5 version. This is the beta code, and there may be changes when the game launches on April 30th, but it does seem quite polished at the moment. First impressions suggest a game that is very similar to its Series X counterpart, but when we look a bit closer, we do see some odd differences. Shadows look quite a bit different on PS5, with a sharper outline and more visible detail.
So this is what the PlayStation community is saying right now, that the PlayStation 5 version of Sea of Thieves has sharper shadows. Yeah, this is what they mean when they say it runs better. So it's not to say that it has a higher frame rate or it runs technically better. When they say it runs better, it means that the PlayStation community is standing up and looking at the shadows of the PlayStation 5 version of Sea of Thieves, and they are like, wow, I'm so happy that I bought this for the PlayStation 5 because the shadows is so sharp. Are you guys for real? This is a sickness because I don't understand it.
This holds true both up close and at a distance, with faraway shadows resolving more softly on the series machine. This is definitely an odd change and falls in line with a similar tweak found in the PS5 version of Hi-Fi Rush. If we boot up the PC version at max settings, the PS5 version definitely more closely resembles the highest shadow quality option, though neither console is a perfect fit. The PS5 and PC exhibit similar looking shadow detail with slightly stronger filtering on PC. But if we step down to the legendary setting, both consoles clearly offer better and cleaner shadow rendering than the PC. I can't quite tell if this just comes down to a difference in shadow filtering, or if the PS5 shadow resolution has been upgraded relative to Series X, but it is very curious for sure. I tended to prefer the PS5 shadow rendering for what it's worth, though it's not a difference I'd fixate on outside of head-to-heads. I also noticed some changes to foliage. The biggest tweak here comes down to foliage placement in general, which differs between these shots. Based on my testing, it looks like the smaller bits of ground cover are procedurally placed, with some level of randomization, because they differed in each run of the tutorial area that I conducted. That means it's not a win for either machine, just a small difference that you may notice in some of these comparisons. That's not to say that there aren't some more substantial differences though. I noticed the PS5 had a consistent edge when it came to draw distances for distant foliage elements, which sometimes appeared on the PlayStation when absent from Series X.
So now you can understand that when the PlayStation community, makes this statement that the games run better on PlayStation 5, they purposely omit how it runs better, because by saying that here we on the PlayStation community are basically paying for textures and we have better shadows, we have sharper shadows. It sounds dumb. It sounds like you guys are just reaching for anything. But this is very laughable that all of them is twisting this thing out of proportion by saying it runs better, and what they are really doing is actually paying for shadows, paying for textures, paying for foliage, a few grass and a few leaves here and there. They are paying for, and they are taking this as a win. These guys are sick and needs to be stopped. And finally, let's talk about the Xbox games dominating on a PlayStation platform. Now, for years, this is nothing new. The PlayStation community has said that, you know, Xbox is not making games that gamers want. That was the narrative they were pushing. That is what all of them were saying. Xbox has lost their way. They are not making games that gamers want. Well, it just so happened that all of it, every single one of it, was capped.
This is where y'all live. This is where y'all stay. Cap World, that's where you live. That's where your house is. Cap World. That's where you go. Cap World, because you're full of it. You're full of cap.
But Microsoft is dominating on PlayStation right now in terms of games and what it's to do with the PlayStation Store. So that's crazy, considering that Microsoft, you know, they own Activision Blizzard, and so all those games, you know, Activision Blizzard, and then they own Bethesda, so all those games are basically first party IPs. And so yeah, I mean, Sony got to bring it this year, man. I've said it so many times now. They got to bring it. They have to bring it this year. You know, they got to really, really, really do some reassessments. And I mean, like I said, it's on one hand, I hear people saying PS5 Pro. We need games. Games is the answer, bro. Games is the way right now, you know?
So yes, despite what the PlayStation community said in the past, that no one wants the games that Xbox has, we are seeing that the numbers are saying different. The numbers are saying that Xbox games are the most popular games on the PlayStation platform. So much so that there are more games in the top 10, more games in the top 20 on PlayStation side. PlayStation compared to PlayStation games. These guys have PlayStation games to play. The Rise of Ronin, Foam Stars, even Final Fantasy VII Reboot. All of these games are exclusive to the PlayStation platform, but they are choosing to buy Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and other Xbox games. Wow, wow, wow. This really spits in the face of all those who said in the past that, you know, these gamers don't want Xbox games. Xbox do not know what gamers want. As you could have seen in the chart that is being shown, Xbox has or occupies the biggest piece of the pie when it comes to Xbox games on a PlayStation platform. What a shame. These guys are not even playing their own games. Instead, they always wanted Xbox games. So this is the beginning of the dominance. Welcome to the Xbox family, you ponies. Yes, Xbox games are dominating the PlayStation platform. But let me hear what you think about all of this information, all of this news. What do you think about Xbox games being played most on PlayStation? What do you think about Helldivers 2 coming to a PlayStation platform? And not forgetting, let me know what is your opinion on the PlayStation community saying that they love shadows. They are paying big bucks for shadows. Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.